Satyaki Chakraborty. I am from Maverick Squad working as an UI UX developer at XenonStack. Today I am going to discuss about components in UX design which I have explored in my experimental Saturday task. So let's come to the problem statement.
As a UX designer, the absence of components in mockups poses significant challenges that need to be addressed. The problem resolves around the lack of standardized and reusable design elements, resulting in inefficient workflows, inconsistencies in user interface, and prolonged development cycles. The absence of components in mockups hampers collaboration, increases design production time, and may lead to a suboptimal user experience for the end users. So here are the problem statements. The first one is reusability and scalability concerns. The absence of components limits the reusability of design elements across the projects and inhibits the scalability of design systems for larger products or platform. The next one is lack of standardization. Without components in mockups, designers often create each UI element from scratch, leading to inconsistencies in design and layout. This lack of standardization can confuse users and disrupt the overall user experience. The next one is inefficient workflow. Designers cannot leverage existing component libraries, forcing them to reinvent the wheel for every project. The inefficiency leads to increased design time, which can negatively impact on overall productivity. The next problem is time-consuming development. Developers face challenges when translating non-component based mockups into code. They have to manually deselect and recreate each UI element, which can be time-consuming and prone to errors. Next one is inconsistent user experience. Without a consistent set of components, the user experience across different screen and interaction may not be uniform. This inconsistency can confuse users and reduce overall engagement and usability of the project. And the last one is difficulty in collaboration. The absence of components makes it challenging for team members to work collaboratively. Without a shared design system, stakeholders may have conflicting interpretations of design elements, leading to misunderstandings and revisions and rework. So here is the solution. First, we will see how can we create a component. So here we are using Adobe XD as an designing tool. We have taken an artboard. We are taking an example by creating a button. First we will create a simple button here. Let me add the border radius and color with it, and we will adding some text here. We will increase the font size of the text a little bit. So here we have created a button. We are making it a group. So for creating this as a component, for creating the button as a component, we will right click and select on make component, or we can use command K. So when we are creating the component, we can see it is selected as a default state, or it is the master component. We can see here. If we are creating an instance or copy of it, it will select as a child component. It is the master component, it is the child component. So by that process the component can be created. So what is the purpose or what is the usefulness of component? So here we are taking this example of these buttons. So it is my master component. My instance component or the instance button will be used in suppose 100 mockups or 100 designs. So here we have a requirement to changing the color of the button. So if in the master component, if we are changing the color of it, we are making the color to red. We can see in the child components also the changes are reflected. We do not have to manually change each and every button to change the color. Simply we can change the master component, the color of the master component, and all the changes will be reflected in the instances. So it is the major usefulness of component. If we are changing the text, if we want to changing the text, we are going to master component, we can changing the text to learn mode to read mode. See, if we are changing this in the master component, the changes are reflected in the child component. So by following this process, we can create a component and use the components. First we have to create a component by simply right click on the group or the element. We can check the option of make component or ungroup make component, or simply if you are using Mac, you can use Command K, and after that this is the default state, and then we can create child or instances, and we can use it in different designs or different mockups. If we have to change or redesign or restructure, then we will change in the master component, and the changes will be reflected in the child component. The implementation, we have implemented this in our XenonStack website mockups. So in this folder we have named this as XenonStack components. In this folder we have created the common components which have been used in our mockups. Here are the list of buttons, here are the header, here are the footers, different types of banners, different type of cards, and different pages footers. So here we are creating the components, and we have linked this to our mockups files. So if we have a requirement that we have to change the color of the header button, or we have to replace or revamp any text, so we are taking this example. Suppose we have the requirement to change the button color of the header. So this is the master component, and in all the mockups there are the instances. So if in the master component we are changing the color, suppose for now we are making this color as red, this color, done. So here we are getting an option update your published library. So if we are clicking on update now, this is updated, and go to share. If we are going to share option, that all the libraries that are linked to these XenonStack components are showing here. So in XenonStack component this is up to date. If we are going to our mockup folder, this one, so here we can see that XenonStack header it needs click to update. If we are clicking this update, or it is automatically updated. See, in the master component we are making the changes, or making the we have made the change, and in every header, in every mockup, the header button color has been changed. So this is the implementation. We do not have to work on every mock or every design to update or change the color. This is the usefulness of components. So we have implemented this in our XenonStack website mockup designs, that we are using the create common components. We have created a separate file of components. If we have to change something, if we have to change or work on the common part, we are going to change in the master component, and all the changes will be reflected in the designs. Components in mockups and UX design serve as reusable building blocks that enhance the efficiency, consistency, and overall user experience of a product. The use case of components include the following key aspects. So the first use case is consistency and standardization. Components ensure that the same design elements are used consistently across different screens and interactions. By adhering to a standardized set of components, designers maintain a cohesive user interface, reducing user confusion and improving usability. The next one is efficiency in design and development. With components, designer can quickly assemble mockups and wireframes by reusing pre-designed elements. This streamlines the design process and saves time and effort that would spend on other tasks. The next one is rapid prototyping and iteration. Components enable rapid prototyping, allowing designers to quickly test and iterate on different design ideas. By reusing components, designer can focus on refining the overall user experience rather than starting from scratch for every iteration. So the next use case is scalability and flexibility. Design systems with components are highly scalable, making it higher to add new features and expand the product. Components can be easily extended or modified to accommodate changing requirements, ensuring a seamless user experience across variable scenarios. The next one is user-friendly design maintenance. When updates or changes are required, components simplify the design maintenance process. Designer can update a component in the design system, and these changes automatically propagate throughout the product, reducing the risk of inconsistencies. The next use case is improved collaboration. Components are used for better collaboration among design teams, developers, and stakeholders. With a shared design system, all the team members can speak at the same design language, reducing misunderstanding and enhancing collaboration and engagement. And the last use case of it, enhanced accessibility. Components can be designed with accessibility principles in mind, making it easier to ensure that the product is inclusive and usable for all users regardless of their abilities. So here are the benefits and advantages of components in UX design. The first one is modularity and reusability. Components promote a modular design approach, allowing designers to create independent self-contained elements that can be reused across different projects or within the same project. This reusability not only saves time but also ensures design consistency throughout a product lifecycle. The next one is design system adoption. Using components in mockups often goes hand in hand with the adoption of a design system. A design system is a comprehensive set of rules, principles, and assets that govern the entire design process. Components are a crucial part of a design system, enabling teams to maintain a cohesive and organized approach to design. The next benefit is cross-platform consistency. For products that span multiple platforms, that is web, mobile, and desktop, components ensures a consistent user experience across the different platforms. Designer can create platform-specific variations of components while still adhering to the same underlying design principles. The next one is collaboration with developers. Components aid in seamless design handoff to developers. Since both designer and developers work with the same set of components, it reduces the gap between design and implementation, leading to a more collaborative and efficient work. The next one is improved collaboration. Components foster better collaboration among design team, developers, and stakeholders. With a shared design system, all the team members can speak with the same design language, reducing misunderstanding and enhancing collaborations. And the last one would be faster prototyping. When creating rapid prototypes, components enable designers and developers to quickly assemble the core feature of the product. This rapid prototyping approach helps in early user testing and validating ideas with minimal effort.
I have explored this in my experimental related task. In XenonStack, we have the culture to experiment with new things and technologies that really impact in our problem solving abilities and add value to new ideas. Thank you XenonStack for giving us this opportunity, and thank you all for tuning in.